And we are live. And it's just we, Rory.
Phew, there's nobody here. I can finish doing what I was doing.
I meant like no guests, but people will come in, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. So this is where the fun, exciting bit of the podcast is going to be.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, pretend you're doing the intro for the podcast.
All right. Hello and welcome everybody to another Hub Games Hangout with me, your glorious co-host, the one, the only Michael Fox, over there on the other side of the screen. Or if you're listening on the podcast, I just pulled out his freaking headphones.
No, it wasn't plugged in. I was trying to go, why am I hearing him differently?
Well, over there, the experienced broadcaster, Rory O'Connor. Hello.
Hey there.
I am so sick of listening to my voice. I mean, I know that the entire world feels exactly the same, but good Lord. It's all I've been listening to for the last couple of days. And I'd like it to stop. But it's all in good, in aid of a good thing. Because we're turning all of these lovely Hub Games Hangouts into actual podcasts.
Yeah, this one isn't going to work.
This one will be fine. It'll be fun. So yeah, there's 41 episodes that I'm currently in the middle of putting together.
Wow.
And the idea will be to put it up put 10 up every week over the next few weeks, and then it'll just go up every, once an episode is done. So that'll be all right. We got Yoss in the chat. Hello, Yoss. Welcome. What's been going on then, man? Tell us things.
Well, Yoss was actually helping me troubleshoot some 3D printing.
Oh, are you still having issues? I thought it was meant to be like the most plug-and-play friendly.
Compared to the others, it is, but there's still... Okay. It's kind of like perfecting. So, yeah. And I might be just cleaning the surface. There was bits where a bit was kind of curling up as it was printing. It was almost like contracting.
Okay.
And I think in some prints, it was causing the head to catch it when it was passing over because it had curled. It was up a little bit higher, and it would accidentally catch and then ruin a print. So no, like it's funny. I've set up like a remote webcam so I can kind of check in and see how it's doing.
It's baby monitor.
Essentially, it is. And I've plugged in a USB light as well so that I can check it late at night because the lights go off in the studio. But it is.
It's just like, oh, my sweet child. Oh, you printed your first thing. Well done. Pat it on the head, falls apart.
Exactly. I was just like slices.
So what are you trying to make? I know it's like still like Yoss says it's like learning curve, but what are you like? What's this first sort of test project?
Marvel Champions inserts.
Oh, cool! Not the card slidey thing, but
no, just storage boxes. But I realized I was going to change the nozzle. So basically printing with a bigger nozzle, so it reduces because I don't need detail, it should reduce the printing time. But then I realized I didn't have the right tool to actually take the nozzle off. So I'm printing boxes that are taking about 5 hours, and I'm like, I probably should print them on draft, but I don't know what draft is going to turn out like. So I'm like, I'll just stick it on speed print, see how it goes. So it's kind of like I need to do a lot of that stuff because I'd like to be able to print them for you as well. But then I'm going to be dedicating like 50 hours of printing to your stuff unless I figure out a better, faster way to print it.
Oh, bless you. Well, I mean, it's super kind of you to even be thinking of printing stuff up for me. It is generous to a fault.
Well, right now that's all I'm doing.
Yeah, thinking about it. But I'm all right with thinking about it. That's fine. It's nice to be thought about every once in a while.
And I've been continuing my D&D adventures in Untold.
Untold and yeah. Oh, there you go. Yoss got the great suggestion. Just buy a second printer. It already twice as fast.
The first one. Well, it's my vision is to be able to put like multiple objects on and leave them printing for a longer time.
Mhm.
and just because I can go away and leave it overnight. But the problem is, if I don't get it printing properly, it gets ruined halfway through, and then everything gets
Yeah.
wrecked. So that's part of the. If I can set up where it can reliably print multiple objects, then I can just get it started and kind of leave it to it. So that's my test right now. It's printing all the trays and drawers for the main box. So as soon as I'm finished here, I'll be bringing up the baby monitor to see how it's going.
Ken does suggest print a second printer, which I'm sure is the most hackable way of doing things. What have I been doing? Yeah, I've been doing the podcasty things. I have your Joy-Con here.
Nice.
Primed and ready to be fixed. Although I did lose the buttons. So these are the buttons that came to repair Rory's Joy-Con, because I've got the kit that I can make things work again. But I got these off of Amazon. Opened them up out of the ridiculously large package, because it's Amazon. Of course, it's going to come in like a box that's far too big, and put them down, and promptly forgot where I put them.
Okay, I thought you'd literally lost the button.
No, I have not cracked open this thing yet. But I can feel it. It's the top ones are pretty weird. So yeah, I couldn't find these. So it's just like, where the hell did I put them? So I just okay, right, screw it, I'll order them. Just about as I hit the buy now button, it's just sort of like, what's that small box over there on the table underneath 150 copies of 2000 AD? And it's like, ta-da! Because I had PJ, the beautiful and wonderful PJ Holden, dropped around a whole bunch of extra bonus copies of 2000 AD and magazine and
ooh, nice,
loads and loads of stories and stuff. Because he's going through a massive sort at the moment. For folks who aren't aware, PJ is the one of the wonderful contributing artists to Prism Arena, who also happens to draw Judge Dredd and Rogue Trooper on his as a side gig. Bit of a side hustle, but he's sorting out his entire comics room, his office and everything like that, and getting them all tidied and sorted. And he said, when he was saying, I'm making 3 piles. 1 is the stuff that I'm definitely keeping. 2 is the stuff that I'm probably going to keep. And then 3 is the whatever. So I've got pile 3. And
well, ask him, has he got rid of his multiple copies of, is it Watchmen? There's a graphic novel that he keeps buying.
Yeah. Because he's got the original, he's got the fancy version, he's got the super fancy deluxe version
the big oversized
came out
one
a while ago. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, just get rid of them. I've got a copy of it if you want to read it. I'm assuming you've got a copy of it as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody has. We're all nerds. But yeah, so I spent a pleasant couple of hours last night sorting through them, putting them into order. And it's it's a good sort of 120, 130 copies there. So now my brain is going, is this where I start collecting 2000 AD again?
No. No, because I think it's of a time. To me, it was, designed and published where the price was at the time kind of pocket money. You got multiple stories and given to you in a way where you could buy it every week and afford it and read it. And I kind of find now that the 8 pages per story is just too short per story for me to enjoy it. That I'd rather wait and get the kind of collected editions, which is a different audience.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one thing I would really, really like to do is get the Judge Dredd complete case files series, because out of all the 2000 AD characters, Judge Dredd, that's the story that I really enjoy reading, because it's got all the cool stuff in it, like all the Chopper stuff and PJ Maybe and
Chopper.
Chopper's, man. Chopper's where it's at. All the Super Surfs. Song of the Surfer. It's all good. But what's nice is, so the magazine, I didn't realize the magazine was still running, because that first came out when I was a boy. And
an old teen.
When I was an old teenager, but what they do now is they take an older strip, bundle all of the story together into one thing, and then put it into like a small like booklet essentially.
Okay.
So you can read like an entire story from, and there's loads of different ones. So they've done some of the Armitage stuff from who's like the Brit version of Dread, but he's basically John Thor in the Sweeney, and I'm gonna mess you up, son. And yeah, there's just a big pile of them now for me to work through. So that's like my nighttime reading. Go through a few of them. Oh yeah, it's super cool. I didn't realize that Sam Slade Robo Hunter is now Samantha Slade Robo Hunter.
Oh really?
As well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think she's his daughter, from what I can work out. But I've got a few of those stories to read through as well. So looking forward. So I loved Robo Hunter. That was like one of my top stories.
Halo Jones.
Ballad of Halo Jones is also classic. Just just the look of it. That art style is too good.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll ever make a movie of it? Because it's been sort of.
But they never finished it. So apparently there was plans to do another series.
Oh, okay.
When she was older, but they never kind of greenlit it.
Because I guess it's 3 volumes that basically make up the ballad.
Yeah. So I have it as a collected. When they did that kind of collectible version of it, and Halo Jones was on the first. I just kind of go. In the 80s, we were reading about this like a cool female character that had nothing to do with sex or being the objective of someone else's affections. It was just this woman going out and which is kind of really, I think, representative of the 80s in Britain, and Ireland, of actually just trying to make it in the world where there wasn't any work, there was nothing to do, and just trying to make something of life. And it's like, I still think it's mad that we were reading that going, well, that's normal. Like, that's what you do in comics. But yeah, and that's what I always think of, with 2000 AD. It just pushed so many boundaries.
Yeah.
At the time, it was proper punk.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, hell, the whole comic was born in the spirit and time and era of punk, so it's not a surprise. It would be interesting. Like, I'm looking forward to reading some of the much newer stuff. The really recent stuff, just to sort of see it. Is the vibe still the same?
See, I think that's why I stopped reading it. And there's a couple of times I tried to get back into it, and it just, again, being of a different age, I kind of didn't. I felt like the stories were being written for a younger audience, which I was that person. When I was reading it, and I loved it. But yeah, it doesn't catch me the same way now. The way Strontium Dog always had a strong message. And maybe the other stuff does. It just, for me, Slania was always a really great character, and I kind of felt they ran out of stuff to do with it, and then just started going nuts, and that's when it kind of broke away from the Celtic mythology. And I lost interest at that point. When they started going into Arthurian stuff, I was like, what?
Oh, I didn't know that they did that. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, we are here. We are gathered here today. Just you and I.
Just the two of us.
In preparation for next week, where we've got the lovely Will and Cole will be joining us from the Drive Check podcast. Yeah, Yoss is going, what are we talking about? Get on with it. This is what we're talking about, baby. Rory's going to teach me how to play a game.
Yeah, so we were trying to figure, we messed up with our guests. We thought they were going to be on this week, but we had actually scheduled them for next week. Cole's away on holidays at the moment. Okay. And so it was a bit late to kind of ask for a last minute guest to come on board. So we decided, I think we both wanted to play something. That wasn't going to work. So we thought it'd be kind of interesting to play Cardfight Vanguard in preparation for next week. So Michael will be able to ask interesting questions. And also because basically Cardfight Vanguard is getting rebooted and launching in May. So with a little bit of help from Will and Cole chatting on Facebook Messenger, I've been able to track down a mod for it. So it's like the table is in one mod and the decks are in another. And some of the cards are proxied. Yeah.
Chaos.
Some of the cards are proxied. So they just don't have card art. But yeah, I was going to teach you. This is like, I kind of discovered this like bizarrely in Japan when we went over for the launch of Rory Story Cubes. And I went into a game store and they had like so many trading card games. It was unbelievable. And I was on my phone back then, kind of using data to try and search up the names of the games and to see if any of them, like what were they, and any of them had English. And so when I went to the counter with what little English I had, I asked,
what little English you had? Were you walking around speaking
Gaelic? Well, using basic English, because the staff had minimal English. I was like, is there any of these games in English? And they pointed to Cardfight Vanguard and Weiss Schwarz. So I just bought a couple of decks and like a booster box for Weiss Schwarz. I carried it with me for ages because I didn't have anyone to play it with. I was with my kids. So I actually got home and played it on my own. I remember that teaching myself in the back garden and kind of going, this is kind of fun. And I got into it to the point where I organized the kind of league here in Belfast, even though I wasn't a store and that's how I got to know Dave Salisbury from Fanboy 3.
Oh, okay.
Begging him for like tournament kits and promo cards to be able to host it. And I did that for quite a few years and introduced a lot of kids to Cardfight Vanguard. And also there was a group of students who had learning disabilities who were huge Cardfight Vanguard fans. And they used to come along to play as well. And it was awesome watching them teaching the younger, like, so they were like older teenagers, and they were teaching the younger kids how to play. But it kind of, for me, it eventually got to a point where some of the card play got a bit nuts, like in terms of the comboing and effects. And I think it's still there. But it's got such good fun. Like in terms of, I always, I like combos happening. Yeah, this game does that. But it also has just like a lot of neat mechanics that work together. So yeah, it'd be kind of cool to show you them, and then maybe we'll pick up some actual real decks when it comes out in May. Because the price of the starter decks is apparently, don't quote me on this, is like the equivalent of $3.99 for a full deck. So these 5 decks are going to sell really cheap, and these are the starter decks to get people into the game. Cool. And then it's going to follow up with booster, boxes afterwards.
So I was having a look at some of the cards earlier, not knowing what the hell is going on. And I do get a bit of a Weiss Schwarz vibe from it, which I've played a little bit of because, Weiss Schwarz, the thing with that is very much, hey, you like this anime? Well, surprise, we've done a deck based around it. So I've got like a bunch of Persona decks. I've got some Love Live decks, which is always weird having like, the characters from your favorite fighting video game fighting off against a bunch of teenage idols, which is weird. But I know literally nothing about Cardfight Vanguard. Nothing at all. I know nothing about the universe. I don't know. Is it based on a show? Is it whatever? I haven't got a clue. So give us the rundown.
So I'm very high level. I'm not going to be able to give you the details because I don't really care.
High level's good.
So it's actually based on a really popular anime where the anime was coming out pretty much in time with the releases of the cards.
Okay.
Definitely in Japan, a bit later here. So we were getting the episodes before the cards were coming out. Just a great bunch of characters. And it was about, kind of essentially the first series was about kind of finding friendship through Cardfight Vanguard. and the idea of perseverance and sticking with it and learning and getting stronger.
So it's a game in their universe as well, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they would go to the shop. So it was brilliant. It was basically telling kids like go and find a game shop and meet people. But the range of characters, like there was older kids who were kind of aloof. There was a guy who always wanted the OP deck. He was like, this is overpowered. I want to put all the grade 3 cards in. And they're trying to explain to him that the deck won't work. And he's like, I don't care. I want all these. So he has to learn how to play effectively. That's his thing. And then there's like the younger sister of Aichi, who's like the main character. She gets into the game and starts playing it with her younger friend as well. And then she spars against the older one. And then there's the young woman who is the niece of the store owner who has her deck, and she's kind of really aloof but really good at playing and kicks all of their asses. So it's just a really kind of fun mix, and they form a team and they go, battling. And then there's this other story about the nefarious opponents who are doing stuff. But it's a great way of learning the game because it's teaching you as they play it. And seeing new cards as they were coming out, and what was the cool thing that they did. You got to see that in play in it, and be like, oh, I want to do that. So you'd want to pick up that deck. All
right. So it's gloriously merchandised through the power of a regular TV show. Okay.
But teaches you how to play the game. Like that's what I thought was great. Like you could watch a couple of episodes, like, oh yeah, I know how this works. So the idea is like this is a planet Cray. And they've moved it forward 3,000 years, I think. So this is like a new age because the original game was made up of like 21 clans or something, but essentially 5 different colors. And it was great because each deck was based around a particular clan. So you'd only use cards from that clan, which made deck building really easy. But it made introducing new cards really hard because with booster packs and like expansions, they weren't able to cover the full pool. So basically these clans would move forward and these would fall behind, and then they'd move forward and then they'd fall behind. And then, it was very hard to have an even playing field. So they've basically consolidated all the clans, which were represented by 5 colors, into 5 nations in the future. So that's what we're seeing now. So now you can mix cards from all of those different clans under the one nation, and it's just going to make it much easier with new releases to have cards for everybody in the card pool.
So apologies for like questions. So would this then be like, can you use older cards in this new version of the game, or is it just like, no, this is those cards are no good to you anymore?
You can use them in what they call premium format.
Okay, so it's like the historical kind of vibe.
Yeah,
if you want to play the game pro, you'd have to do this overdressed version.
Yeah, so, and I have like a ton of those older cards. They've no symbol in the bottom right-hand corner. The last reboot was V. So you'll have a V in the bottom of the cards. These are like overdressed, so they have D as the symbol. So they're what you use for legal play. Okay. Yes, I think it's 5 nations. Just asking, is it 6 nations? I think it's 5.
6 nations rugby.
Yeah.
5 nations.
So I'll try and bring these up on screen. Now, I haven't looked at these decks. I looked at one of them, and I'm purely going from memory and of what the others taught me. So we'll kind of go through these really quick, I think, and then pick a deck, and we'll start playing. And I'll explain the rules. I'm trying to remember it would help if I actually switched to tabletop. I was trying to click on StreamYard to make the image come up big.
Why not working?
Yeah. Okay. So Keter Sanctuary is the kind of orange color, and that's made up of what was Royal Paladins, Gold Paladin, Angel Feather, and Genesis. So it's kind of like the heroic set. Though Angel Feather is like the hospital set. It was really fun. It was all about healing. Whereas like Royal Paladin was straight up kind of attacking. So I'm kind of curious how they're going to combine all those together. I would imagine it's going to be a fairly straightforward deck to play.
Okay.
Then this one, which doesn't have, hang on, I'm going to look at one of the other cards on it. Yeah, so Dragon Empire is a combination of Kagero, which is like one of the famous straight up like attacky ones. It was the kind of dragon deck. It also includes Tachikaze, which is the dinosaur deck themed clan. Murakumo, which is the kind of samurai. And Nubatame. They were like really close to each other, but they were kind of like more ninja vibes to them.
Right, can you hit Alt, I think, just so you can full screen the card so folks can see it at home? There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's this clan in here. This one is Dark States. Just remember who's in that. So this is made up of what are they called? Grand Blue, which is like the Ghost Pirate deck. It was made up of I think were Spike Brothers might have been in there. There was Grand Blue. There was I think it's Royal Armada. Something Armada, which was the ocean kind of sailor themed deck. And probably some new ones that I've forgotten because they did introduce some new ones over time. Then we have Stoichia, I think. Stoichia. It's essentially the kind of nature clan. So this was Great Nature, Neo Nectar, which I loved, which was the kind of plant-based decks, and Mega Colony, which was made out of all kind of like insects as well. I think it was the three of them. And then Brantgate was, again, to my favorite, it was Nova Grappler, which were like a whole mix between Ultraman, kind of Power Rangers, Transformers, all kind of mixed up together. And I know there's going to be people screaming at me because there's really popular decks that I've known, or like clans that I'd kind of gotten out of. Like Link Joker, I think, might be in here. And they were one of the first to introduce like a weird kind of, which is kind of fun mechanic, which is like you locked cards in place. So they couldn't, they'd be flipped face down and you couldn't use them until like the beginning of your next turn.
Okay.
So, I mean, for our purposes, all we need to know is there's 5 different clans. And I'm going to take, so do you want to pick one of them? I'll just clear off and then I'll kind of.
Sure. I mean, obviously you don't know what these decks are like. What would be best for, a complete utter noob? Is it just like go for it? Because these are going to be the starter decks from the actual release, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not doing the white deck because that's just paladins and screw paladins. I will go for the 5th one that you mentioned.
Okay. So you want to grab the whole thing? Yeah. Let me just and explain because they're kind of like 2 decks together.
Okay.
And I'll explain why.
So we've got the top half one and we've got the bottom half. Okay.
So take the top half and so you want to keep them in the order that they're in? Sorry, hang on.
Okay.
So just take the whole of the top half and flip it and put it like underneath your drop zone. So flip it face down and put it beneath your drop zone.
Right.
So that's your discard. So just move it. I'm not sure if they've allocated a space to it. It could be that's your sideboard. Might be another place to put it, but
okay.
I think for people to see it, I would leave it there, and then just take your deck and put it in your deck area.
Okay.
So it's weird because we always played the other way around, where your deck was on the bottom. Okay. So I will take. I think I'll take the Great Nature one, though I have no idea how it works. Okay, so I'm going to take these and put them here. Okay, so first off, the reason why there's 2 decks is it was one of the first kind of like fixes that they've put. Let's see if I can just delete these. I kind of don't want to delete them. I'll just move them off to the sides, I think, in case we revisit.
I mean, you've got this You got this space over here.
Yeah.
Can you just drop stuff on there, or?
Yeah, just I wish it would make it easy. So one of the things they fixed is in this game. So we're going to get into the mechanics a little bit. You are trying to do 6 damage to your opponent. That's the objective. You see the damage zone, and as soon as you've got 6 cards in that damage zone, you've lost, and your opponent has won.
Okay.
To deal damage, you're going to be essentially summoning or calling cards to either the vanguard position, which is the central area here, or to a rearguard position, which are the ones
5 surrounding. Okay.
Yeah. You're basically going to, when you're playing cards, you can play a card of a level higher than the vanguard. Okay. So one of the issues in the earlier game was you would basically get stuck in terms of being able to ride, that you just couldn't get a higher level card because of the random draw within the deck. So what they've created is a ride deck. So basically this deck has cards going from 0 to 3, the levels that you're going to ride through. So at the beginning of your turn, when you go through the ride phase, you can, if you want, discard a card from your hand and ride from the ride deck. So it basically guarantees you always have a card to ride.
Okay, so riding being leveling up, essentially.
Yeah. So then I'll just kind of talk. So this is probably a good way to talk about the different cards and what makes them different from each other. So we will shuffle and draw 5 cards, and you always draw a card at the beginning of your turn.
Okay.
Yeah, so some of these are missing art. But it's actually a good way to teach the card to people. Up in the top left-hand corner, you're going to see the grade of the card going from 0 to 3. In previous iterations, I went up to 4. I don't know if they're going to do that in this one, but it's 3 for now. Down in the bottom left-hand corner is their attack value. So when they attack, this would attack for 6,000. If you defend with this card from your hand, it's 5,000. So you can use it to block attacks coming in. And I explained other cards can do that as well. Effects, you'll see down the bottom, you'll see a star and a 1. So damage it does. So it basically does 1 damage. You'll also see the effect. So auto, when this unit is rode upon. So when you play another card on top of it, if you went second, draw a card. So it's a bonus for the second player. So that's that one there. I'm just going to go through these so you kind of see the differences as they kind of level up. So this is a grade 1 card.
Okay.
I do have to say I do like the mix of artwork in some of these. Some of it's kind of really cute. Okay, so you can see it's a grade 1 card. You can also see the boost symbol. So what that means is that if it's in any of the 3 back rows of the rear guards, when a front unit attacks, you can basically rest this to add its value to the attack.
Okay.
So only grade 1s can do that.
Okay.
Again, you can see the attack value is 8,000. Its shield value is 5,000. And its effect, so you got an auto effect. When it's rode upon by a particular unit, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's grade 2 or less, call it your rear guard, and if it isn't, put it into your soul. So I think these cards are going to be about kind of blossoming quickly, and it's all about rapidly filling up your field. So then the continuous effect, so it says basically if it's in the back row rear guard, during the battle this unit attacked, this unit gets plus 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so that if it's boosting someone, it's going to get plus 5,000.
When it says put it into your soul
Yes.
being...
Oh, Was there soul? Have you got a soul one, or did I say this? Oh yeah. So put it into your soul. Your soul is let me see. I'll cover that now. Okay. So when your Vanguard is in this position, the soul are all of the cards underneath the active card in the Vanguard space. So you'll see some cards that say soul charge, which is add a card to the bottom of it. So it'll either like do it from the top of your deck or from your hand. And that's what these buttons are here for down the side. It kind of allows you to basically do it automatically, where that'll just pull the top card from your deck and put it under. So Blast is a cost that you pay for certain things. So you will Soul Blast, which is discard a card from your soul to pay the cost for it. And actually, this is one of the things I really like. It's this really nice control mechanism for timing when you can do effects. Because it also, if you think about it, you have to have been playing the game for a while to have charged up your soul by just writing. So therefore, the more powerful effects are going to cost more, but you can't do them until later in the game when you kind of need them more. And particularly with the damage zone. So the damage zone has certain cards which we'll probably see, which will say things like Counter Blast to pay the cost for something. Counter Blast means flipping a card face down that's in your damage zone. And again, it means the more damage you have, the more you're able to basically trigger effects that use Counter Blast.
Okay.
So they become like, quite powerful ones require a lot of cards because they're going to have an epic effect, and they're like a last-ditch attempt to help you with something. Okay. So I'm going to put that one back in there. So now we're on grade 2. So these have the intercept ability up in the top left-hand corner. And what that means is they can guard from the front rear guard zones. So basically you can move them into block and attack, and they'll absorb that much damage from the attack. Okay. And we'll play through it so we actually see it in action. But again, you can see now we're starting to see in tiny writing, Soul Blast 1, reveal the top card of your deck. Yeah. So,
that red icon. Okay, yeah.
Okay. And then grade 3 is so they've got the twin drive effect. So normally when a Vanguard attacks, you get to do a drive check, which is you reveal the top card of your deck. And if it has a trigger symbol up in the top right-hand corner, it will generally give you a boost of some kind.
Okay.
So it might be add 10,000 to any unit, and it might be like and draw a card or do 1 extra damage, things like that. So with the Vanguard, they get to do that twice, which increases the chances of you kind of getting one.
Okay.
You can see the grade 3, its effect only triggers when it's on the Vanguard, which is the kind of V. So at the end of the battle, you will Counter Blast 1. So I mentioned that. Choose one of your rear guards, and until the end of the turn, that unit can attack from the back row. That's why that other card, had that boost if it attacks from the rear guard position. So it would be basically getting plus 10,000. If you Persona Road this turn, choose 3 guards. Okay, so the guys taught me what Persona Ride is. They did have a version of it before. What it means now is if you ride this, and it only works at grade 3, if you ride the same card on top of the card. So if I was to play at the beginning of the next round, I played Sylvan Hornbeast King Magnolia on top of Sylvan Hornbeast King Magnolia, I get to add 10,000 to each unit in the front row and draw a card.
Okay, so it's basically a huge boost.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is saying if I do that, I'd get to basically boost 3 rear guards instead of 1. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So let me see how I got them. So I just want to reset this deck so you can see it's kind of set so that it's going.
There'll always be a 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's certain things I can't quite remember. I think you can mulligan but yes, you can, because you want to be able to get your starting cards. You generally start with a grade 0 in play. So I'm going to assume we just start.
So is that taken from the top of the small deck or from hand?
Do you know what? I'm going to, let's say, not do it, because we have a grade 0 here. So I think we just have to discard and put that one in. No, you know what? Just let's stick our grade 1 or grade 0 in play.
All right. That art. Okay. So
yeah.
Let's have a quick look at what I got going on here. I have, it says draw trigger.
Yeah. So that's one of those trigger effects I was talking about. That.
Oh, okay.
If you reveal that, either when you're attacking or when you're taking damage, you also do a trick as well.
Okay, cool. So that's from the drive check thing. Okay. Cool. All right, so we draw cards in a hand.
Yeah. So draw 5 into our hand. Yeah, you want to mulligan because you want to get essentially you want to put all your triggers back into the deck if you can, because you don't really want them out when you're playing.
Okay. All right. So if I select all of them and flip, so do they go back? They go back into the deck. It's reshuffled, and then you draw again. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I have to flip from Tabletopia mode into Tabletop Simulator mode.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. 5 in a hand.
Yeah, and ideally you want some grade 1s and grade 2, maybe.
So that's a no, but that's okay.
Okay. I'm trying to think what else you need to know. I think it's because we kind of go back and forth, I can probably explain things as we're going.
Okay.
And then if you have questions, and the good thing is you don't really have to worry about the grade 2s or grade 3s just yet.
Okay.
Because you have to level up. But the sequence is at the beginning of your turn, draw a card.
Okay.
So there's the draw phase, the ride phase, which is when you can essentially level up your Vanguard. There is the main phase, which is when you're playing cards out and triggering certain effects. And then there's the battle phase, where you stop playing cards out and you're essentially attacking. Just to kind of summarize, attacking, you basically choose a Vanguard in one of the or a card in one of the front rows, so the Vanguard position or the rear guard. You rest it.
So tap. Yep.
Yeah, you decide whether you want to boost it with the card in the rear guard.
If it has the icon
behind it. Yeah, so it would have to be grade 1. And then you choose a target in the front row of the other of your opponent. So you can either go against like rear guards or the Vanguard. If you attack a rear guard, you're basically going to compare values, and then you can decide whether you want to block by playing out those cards, discarding cards with the shield value. So you basically kind of reveal them to this. I'm gonna get rid of this. Reveal them to the center area. And then discard them. Okay, so you're kind of discarding them to block. Likewise, you could intercept with grade 2s to come out and contribute to that. And you can do that for any cards in the front row. If the Vanguard is being attacked, after I declare all my attackers and do my trigger checks or my drive checks, you get to do trigger checks. So as you take damage, you basically would reveal a card from the top of the deck, check to see if it's a trigger. If it has a trigger, you apply its effects, which we can talk through, and then you put it into your damage zone.
Okay, cool. All right, would you like to go first?
I will, and I can't attack because it's my first turn.
Okay, so similar thing here. I would not be able to attack on my first turn.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see what I got. I mean, I will play very openly just to get.
Well, and everyone can see mine, so I've got 2 cards the same. I'm kind of looking at maybe 2. Kind of want that, but do I want to? I can't even remember what that card is. I'm gonna just check. So I don't. Oh yeah, it'll be this one. So I just want to have a look because I'm assuming this one really needs to be in the Vanguard position. No. Oh, hang on. Actually.
So I believe I have the V or the R symbol on them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking to see if I have a particular card, which I don't. So I'm actually going to leave that there, I think. And just because I'm kind of discarding a card to put that one into play. So I'm going to play.
Do you draw at the start of the turn?
Yes, actually. So. Oh, yay. Okay, so this is great because it gets me exactly that same card. So I don't really have to worry about it. So I'm basically riding. It's my first step. And when this unit is rode upon, that doesn't matter. While it's in the back row, it gives a boost. Okay, so I'm going to then call. Let me see.
So you can now play out cards that are either 0s or 1s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to play that to boost that one.
Okay.
And I'm going to play this one here. Now, I don't necessarily need to because, I don't get to attack on my turn. One thing I forgot to mention is when you're calling cards out, you can actually pull cards from the front row to the back row. But not the other way around. So you can basically move this back to make room for a higher level card in the front row. And that is me done because I can't attack on my turn.
All right. So I will draw a card. And I've got a thing. Okay, cool. So I can put any one on top of this 0, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a thing called Autonomic Caution.
Okay.
So I shall pop that on top of there. So continuous RC, so rear RC
guard.
GC.
Yeah, so some of these cards, they've translated the Japanese into English. So they're going to be kind of like, the effects are going to be handwritten rather than iconography. Okay. So I think this is saying when it's on the rear guard or the guard circle.
Okay, so in any position then. So if one or more of your opponent's cards are imprisoned in your prison, what's a prison? This unit gets 2,000 extra power and 5,000 extra shield.
Yes. So this is a great time to introduce, I think they're called order cards. And again, Will go over like trying to explain it to me over Messenger. So there's certain cards in your deck, and I think it's a grade 1 card in yours that basically says it's called a set order card. And it kind of, I think it has the potential to be really interesting in the game where it's going to create a real sense of flavor to that deck that you're playing with. And this deck is themed around prison because it's like the Dimension Police. So that card, when you play it, you're going to move it to your order circle, which for you is over here above your damage area.
Okay.
And basically, when that card is in play, you've created a prison, and you're going to see you have a whole load of cards that are going to basically imprison my cards.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to like pay to kind of get them back out as well. So I think your deck is going to be about essentially tying me up, whereas mine is going to be about filling my field really quickly, I think, and attacking.
Okay. All right. So I can play another card out. That would be okay, as long as it's a 0 or a 1.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to put this one here.
Was that your? Hang on. Is that your special one? No. Keep. Oh. Did you redraw that one, or did you hold that in your hand?
I drew it. Why? What's that?
Okay. It's that's the overdress. I think these are like these new powerful cards that this deck is built about. So I'm just going to bring it up to read it again.
Okay.
So it's a special kind of trigger check in that as a drive trigger check. You can see it has it's going to give 100 million to, so it's basically going to block everything.
Okay.
And if it's revealed during a drive check when you're attacking, now it's better to keep it in your hand, because if you look at it, it's got a shield of 50,000. So I would probably hold on to that to use it as
so I could put a different 0 or 1 out though, so that'd be okay. So with that in mind, then let's do nothing, because the only other 0s or 1s I have are triggers, front trigger and critical trigger, and those aren't going to do anything, are they? So
no. Do you have any 1s though? No.
I drew pretty badly.
Okay.
And mulliganed even worse.
But you played that one from your hand, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what you could do is discard one of those cards to take the one from your ride deck.
Oh, of course.
And then play that one out somewhere else.
Okay. All right. So if I throw that onto the drop, like so. So that is a Vanguard starter.
Oh, actually, so hang on. That's the one that should have been in play. I'm going to stick that one back into your deck.
Okay. All right. So that goes out. That then goes on top of it.
No, so that one should have been in play at the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's the next card, I think. Should be a grade 1.
Okay, hang on a second there. That, and it is indeed a grade 1. Aurora Battle Princess, Kyanite Blue. All right.
Okay, so this is and so just hold on to that one for now. Just take that back into your hand for now.
Okay.
Okay, so now you can see she's introducing the prison. If you look at the effect, when this unit is placed on Vanguard, search your deck for up to 1 prison card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Okay. So we do that automatically. So that'll be in this deck here.
So if you can search, you can just search, can't you?
How do you search? I can never remember.
If I do it, if you want, I can do it here. So if you just right click and search, and I know it's a grade 1 card if I remember correctly. It's going to have a special symbol down the bottom left hand corner.
Search. They're all very tiny.
Yeah, if you hover it, they'll get bigger. But there's a particular symbol I'm looking for called set order. Yeah, found it. Okay.
What number am I looking at?
I've got it here. So it's that one.
Okay, so let's have a look at this. All right, set order, prison. Okay, so after set order is played, put this into your order zone. Okay, so that goes into my hand.
Yeah.
And I'll, of course, be looking to play that next turn.
You can play it this turn. Because you basically can play grade 1s now.
Oh, okay, okay. So by putting the Battle Princess one out into that position, that means, okay, you can do 0s and 1s wherever you like. So that would go up to that spot.
Yeah, so that card says, okay, so you have to rest one of your units to play this card. Okay, so you got to get your timing right.
Okay, so if I pull that, can I pull that
so
back
if you play that other grade,
that one,
yeah,
put that there, and I can tap
now
it.
Rest that one, yeah,
and then I can play the prison one up there.
Right, and then it says when this card is put into the order zone, which you've just done, you're going to soul charge 3. So let's just keep reading. So continuous, whilst it's in the order zone, when your opponent can normal call a rear guard, they can perform the following. So normally when I'm playing cards, I can choose to Soul Blast one, and if I do so, I can choose one of my imprisoned cards and call it back into play.
Okay.
I can counterblast one, and if I do, I can choose two of my imprisoned cards and call them back into play. So you're going to be capturing my cards, and I'm going to be trying to get them. I'll have to get paid to get them back in, which is going to stop me from doing my cool stuff.
All right. So when it says this, when this card is put into the order zone, soul charge 3. So that's I take 3 cards from.
So the easiest thing is just hit soul 3 times.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So let's put 3 cards into your soul.
Okay, so now that says that there are 5 cards underneath. Well, there are 4 cards underneath that top one. Okay, cool. All right.
Okay, so now if you're finished playing, so that's the main phase over, is the battle phase. So you can attack. Okay, so when you're going to attack, like you said, you're going to talk to it. You would rest the unit that you're going to attack and any that you want to boost it with. You want to compare the value. So your attack value is 8,000.
Yep.
Let's see, my Vanguard is 8,000.
Yep.
And 8,000 for my rear guard. So it's enough. As long as it's equal, you can attack.
As it's equal, will
I would
it
then
destroy
get to
my
play
card, though?
No. So the card Vanguards don't get destroyed. It's if you attack rear guards, they get destroyed and removed from play. If you basically attack, I would play shields if I want to defend. Then you would do a drive check. So in this case, you would do it's a single drive check because you're going to do 1 damage. Sorry, you'll do 1 drive check, and that might boost your attack in some way. If I take damage, then I will do a trigger check to see if I get some kind of boost, and the card's going to go into my damage zone.
All right. So let's say I wanted to attack, not your Vanguard, I wanted to attack your Knight of Friendship Sire. So it has to be somebody in the front row, yeah?
Yeah.
So I can attack them. So I will tap my card. So that's 8,000 versus your 8,000.
You want to check to see if there's any kind of attack thing going on. There isn't.
There is not, no.
Yeah, so you're attacking for 8,000. If I wanted, I could play cards from my hand to guard.
So that's using the shield value on the left-hand side.
Yeah, which I'm not going to do.
Okay.
Now you get to do a... I think it's a... If that's damage... I think it's just a trigger check.
Okay. So I
think they're the same thing. Yeah.
All right. Trigger check.
Okay.
So this.
So you basically want to see if you get any kind of bonus from it. Up in the top right-hand corner, you don't.
So nothing from that.
No, but the card goes into your hand.
Okay. All right. Nice one.
Okay. So there's no damage check. So this card just gets destroyed because 8,000 against 8,000, and it goes into my drop zone.
Okay.
So you're basically preventing me from being able to attack you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So once you're done attacking, that's the end of your round, and you leave everything in a rest position.
So it refreshes at the start of the next turn.
Yeah, and you can see there's actually a stand button that will stand all of your cards.
Right.
Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. So I can actually just hit this to draw. So I will draw 1, and again, I'm trying to look and see what I have underneath. I'm just looking to see what this card is. No, so I didn't use that one. Yeah, so I kind of do want to play that one from my. So let's say that's the card sitting up there. Because it's going to give me a free. Okay, I don't really understand that one, so I'm going to discard that. Keep it simple. To play this one from my drive, or from my ride deck. Okay, now the card underneath says, Auto, when this unit is rode upon by Sylvan the Hornbeast Lattice, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a grade 2 or less unit card, call it a rear guard, and if it doesn't, put it into your soul.
Okay, so you are putting that specific card on top of it, so you get to do that special.
Yeah. So I check, is it a grade 2 or less? Yes, it
is. It is grade
2. So I'm going to pull that to there. You can also play cards and kind of essentially ride them over the previous one. So it doesn't matter what value, you're just replacing the card that's there.
Okay.
So I'm going to put that out. I'm going to put... okay. I'm going to play that out there. And so this is where, because you didn't attack my Vanguard, I can't use its ability because I don't have damage to be able to trigger its effect, because it requires me to counterblast one and soul blast one. So, it gets boost. So I'm going to put that one there. No, I'll hold on to that actually. Might be bluffing you about what I have in my hand.
Did you bluff what you like? I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay. So, so when this unit's rode upon, which it hasn't been, back row when this unit, if it's in the back row when this unit attacks a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, and it gets plus 10,000. Okay, so it's not in the back row, so that's fine. Okay, so just to show you how attacking works then, this has 10,000 power. So I'm going to rest it to attack your Vanguard.
Okay.
Okay, so it's currently 10,000 to 8,000.
8,000.
Now you have the... So I'm going to get to flip one card, which potentially is going to give me 10,000 if I get a trigger, right? Okay. So that would... So this is what, like, when you see people talking about Vanguard, they talk about like how much you need to pass, which is like how much shield you would need to basically guarantee you nullify the attack. So at the moment, I would have, if I got a trigger check of 10,000, I'd be up to 20,000. Okay. So you can kind of think, well, if I play like one of your shield cards, I'm defending, but if I get a trigger, you're going to lose. If you put two of them out, you might be like, okay, that's enough to guarantee that that attack won't go through. And that becomes part of the thinking in the game. You also have to look at the fact that I'm likely going to attack with these other two units as well.
All right, so let's just go through this step by step then.
Yeah.
You are currently attacking with 10.
Yeah.
I have 8. I need to now choose a card if I want to act as a shield, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
And also, so like, this is the kind of gamery stuff. Quite often I would... so this is the harder one to know whether you can block it or not. There's a gamble because I'm going to reveal one of these cards.
Yeah.
These other two are more of a known entity because, you know, it's attacking for 10,000. It says if I form more other rear guards, which I don't, you get plus 5,000. And that one, I can't trigger the counterblast effect. So you know they're only ever going to attack for 10,000. So that's where you might say, well, look, I'm not going to bother trying to ditch loads of cards that may or not be useful here. I'm just going to take the damage, and I'll save my cards for blocking. Like, that's part of the strategy of the gameplay.
Okay. All right. So I just want to try and get the order of operations correct. So I choose a shield card first, and then you do the flip. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to throw out this one because that will defend for 15,000.
Okay. Yeah. So that's pretty
so that gets me to 23.
Yeah. Okay. So you just put that into the shield area, into the guard circle. So if you rotate the card to show this, the shield is sticking out. Yeah. Okay. So then I'm going to do a trigger check. So I get through it once. And I don't get any boost. Okay. So that card comes into my hand. So you've blocked that attack.
Okay. And then that card just goes to the
discard. Yeah.
Discard pile. All right.
Okay. I really want to show you what happened when the trigger happens. So now I'm going to attack with that one for 10,000 against your 8,000.
Okay. Well, I will just take the hit.
Okay. So then you're going to take a damage. Okay. And you're going to check to see if there's a trigger on that, which there isn't. So it just goes into there. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack with that one.
And again, you're just attacking the...
Yeah, it's the only thing I can target.
Oh, because it's the only ones in the front row. Okay, yeah. All right, then. Well, I will, again, take the damage.
Okay.
And that does not have an effect.
No, and that's... So those cards are called, like, Sentinels. They used to be called, like, perfect guards. They will basically... when you play that from your hand to the guard area, it can't be hit until the end of the battle. So it basically defends it. If your hand has 2 more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. Yeah. So that's a kind of... Usually you would cry out when that card goes into your damage zone.
Okay. Yay.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Do you know what I forgot to do?
What?
I forgot to boost with the one behind. And that's one of the reasons why you want to boost.
Okay.
Oh, and I could have done that. Should have paid attention. I'll do that next turn. Okay, so back over to you.
All right, so I hit stand to bring everything back.
And then draw.
I draw a card to make that happen. Where the hell were you earlier? That would have been useful. Okay.
So now it's the ride phase.
So I'm going to say there's only 4 cards in this ride deck, yeah. So
yeah, it's just one of
0,
each level.
1, a 2, and a 3. Okay. Yeah. So I do have a level 2 card in my hand, but what I'll do instead is
look at the one in the deck, because it might be that it, like, what I notice in mine is they get a benefit by riding on top of each other.
Okay. So this one, when this unit is placed in the vanguard position, your opponent chooses a card from the hand and puts it in your prison. Okay, so I'm going to do that.
Son of a... okay, so...
and then continuously, if one or more of your opponent's cards are imprisoned within your prison, this unit gets plus 2,000. So that gets plus 2,000 immediately.
Yeah, so I'm just going to leave it there beside it so you can still read the effects.
Yeah. So if we put that on there, that now says that I've got that 2,000 point boost for it. Okay. All right, so now I can play cards of level 0, 1, and 2.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, let's throw out this boy up front. Grapple external. During the battle, this unit attacks. If an opponent's card is imprisoned in your prison, this unit gets plus 5,000. So I take a 5,000 token.
Yeah.
And put it on top of that as well. And can't read that one properly. So that card that got discarded, I've got another one of them, the Violate Dragon.
Okay, so that's one you want to keep in your hand until...
As a defensive move. Okay, yeah, sorry, I saw the 0 defense on it and I thought, oh, then that's terrible.
Yeah, so it's when it's put on guard, which is the guard circle, choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until the end of that battle. So it's always that A battle is like when you target each an individual unit. If you have 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it.
Cool. All right. So that's all I'm going to do for cards. I will then attack with the grapple boy. So that'll be attacking for 15.
Okay, against
your Vanguard.
Okay. So, just to talk through my options, I could intercept with one of these,
even though they're tapped.
Yeah, because I would essentially be playing them out to there because they're level 2 or grade 2.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
I could play cards in my hand if they have a shield on them as well. I am going to take that one.
Okay, so I hit the trigger button.
No, because it's your.
It's my attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my Vanguard is being hit, so I take a damage and I do a check on that.
Okay.
Okay. So, this gives someone in the front row 10,000.
Okay.
So these are new actually. So front trigger. I don't know if it's everyone gets it or just someone in the front row. That's weird because that is called front trigger. I think it's all of them because usually we have a draw trigger that would give you 10,000 and a card. But let's just the worst one. I'll go with the worst case, which is I just give it to one of them. So I'm going to give that to my Vanguard.
Okay, so that'll get their base up to 20.
Up to 20.
All right.
So if I take a 10. Okay.
Okay. All right. So
that's got a plus 2,000 actually as well.
Yes, it does. Okay, but it's stuck in the back. I can't move it forward because the Vanguard's in front of it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I can attack again if I want to, or I can is there any point me not attacking at this point?
No.
So you might you might as well do it.
Yeah, it's really about who you go after.
Okay. So if I attack with my Vanguard, and we're going to attack your. Okay, so I kind of want to get rid of that one quickly because I do not want 4 more other rear guards.
Oh, sorry. I want to just point out, Michael. Its effect says if it's in the rear guard, if an opponent's card is imprisoned, the unit gets plus 2,000, but it's in the Vanguard position. So you don't get that plus 2,000.
If it is when this unit is placed on there, continue. Oh, sorry, man. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
The icons are very small for my old eyes.
No, they are.
All right. Still though, the Battle Princess is hitting for 10, so not terrible.
And then being boosted.
And then being boosted at the back
by another 10.
Because they have the thing in there. Okay, so it's always their total power that is the boost. All right, so she's currently.
Yeah. So if you rest both of them.
Yeah. So I will do, and I'll attack that one there. The Duger.
Yeah. Okay. So there's no check on that, so that's just going to get. Well, do I want to guard?
So if that gets defeated, that just gets put into your into your discard pile. I can only score damage points on you by attacking your Vanguard successfully.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would go. I mean, we're equal at the moment. I would go for the Vanguard because I don't get to.
Oh, so it's all right for me to attack the same thing multiple times?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's do that. So I say I get attack for 20. You're at 20.
So
Let's go for it.
You do a trigger check.
Okay. So that's a nothing. But that goes into my hand.
20. And I take damage. Oh, too late. So this is terrible coming out of my turn. So I give a unit plus 10,000, and I assign the critical. So I do them both separately. The critical basically means you do two damage.
Okay.
So that makes me think that the front trigger is plus 10,000 for the whole front row. Because just of how the other powers are working.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Are you done then?
Yeah, I don't think I can do anything else. So
okay,
it's all good.
So I will stand and draw. I'm just going to put this off now. I'm just checking when this unit's rode upon by Sylvan Horned Beast King Magnolia, reveal the top card of your deck if it's a unit. Follow through guard. Okay. Ooh. I think I'll discard that to ride. Sorry, not that one. This one, which is going to trigger an effect now.
Okay, so that's your level 3. So now this means that you can play any of your cards out to the rear guard positions. Okay.
Okay, so this card says Sylvan Horde Beast. Lada says when this card is rode upon by Sylvan Horde Beast King, Soul Blast 1. So I'll take a card out. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a unit card, call it to rear guard, and if it isn't, put it into your hand. And then if it's on the back row, when this unit attacks the vanguard, Soul Blast 1. And it gets plus 10,000. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to think though how to Soul Blast. I think I just choose the card. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to take Soul Blast that one, get rid of it, and then I get to reveal the top card of my deck. And if it's a unit, call it to rear guard. So
what advantage did the Soul Blast do for you? It takes it out from under the card, and
it's essentially a cost you're having to pay. So it controls how often you can do the thing.
Okay.
And like Pale Moon, which is I think in that got merged into the Grand Blue deck, was the Circus deck, and it was brilliant for doing Soul Blast because it was like coming on and off stage and doing different things. So I don't know if this is a unit card or not. These are questions I'm going to have to ask the guys. So this is a Sentinel card.
Yeah, it says normal unit at the bottom.
Yeah, I think it is a unit. So I think I'm just going to, darn it, call it there. Any other benefit? If it's a unit card, call it to rear guard. If it isn't, put it into your hand. Okay, so then that rides on top. And this ability is at the end of the battle. At the end of the battle, when this unit attacked, counterblast 1. Choose one of your rear guards until the end of the turn. That unit can attack from the back row and gets plus 5,000. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to put this into play here. So this is counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, and the unit gets boost. So our grade 2 can boost, which it wouldn't normally be able to do, and plus 5,000 till the end of the turn. And I don't really need to do it with that one. Oh, so actually what would have made sense, say for example, is if I undid that. Remember I was calling that one out? I could like pull that back and play that to there. And then play that one to there.
Okay.
Okay, so then this is going to get a bonus because I've got 4 other rearguard cards. It's going to get
plus 5,000. Okay.
Which is that one there. And then I'm going to do this for this card. So it's kind of blast 1, so blast 1, and it's going to get plus 5,000 till the end of the turn. So I'm going to flip, and then Soul was adding cards to the Soul, wasn't it? Wasn't taking them out. So I'm just going to get rid of that one. Put that there. Going to give that. This is so much harder digitally.
Yeah, I think this would be a lot easier to play. As with most things, just sat across the table from each other.
So I'm going to attack for 15, and because this is getting to boost 15 as well, so that's 30.
Okay, 30 on my Vanguard. So they've only got 10.
Yeah.
So
you need either either need a Sentinel or oh, I forgot to do that as well. I should have taken that back. Darn it.
Well, let's try guarding with this Sentinel then. See what happens there.
So yeah, if you have 2 more cards in your hand, you have to choose one and discard it. So basically, you're not nullifying the whole attack.
Okay.
I would suggest holding on to it, and you kind of want to nullify my Vanguard attack because there's a chance I could get a critical trigger, which would allow me to do 2 damage.
Okay. All right, then I might as well take the hit then. Okay, so yeah, I'll take the hit on that then. So I just take a damage. Boom.
Ooh, and you got a trigger.
So that's a front.
So you get to give 10,000 to all of the front row.
Okay. So that's another 10,000 top of what they've already got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So this grappler external is actually now pretty hefty. So it's on 25. So.
Yeah, and that'll be there until the end of the round.
Okay. So these tokens are always removed at the end of the round?
Well, some of them you'll know the condition is carrying over, but the trigger effects just last until the end of the round.
Just till the end of the round. Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah, like that one will be, you'll need to check each turn. That's going to be there as long as you've someone in the prison. Yeah,
the robot's permanent. The 5,000 on the grapple is permanent as long as there's somebody in there, but that 10k will go away. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I attacked with both of them. Nothing happened. So it's 6. So you're on 20. Okay, so I'm going to attack with my Vanguard.
So they're currently at 13, but they get the boost from the back, so that's 21. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see from the rear guard. Oh yeah. So act is an action that can only be done during your main phase. So I keep forgetting to use that effect. But I have other stuff in place, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So I'm attacking for 13 plus 8 is 21. I'm going to do
my 20. Okay. Yep.
And this has the twin drive, so I'm going to check twice.
All right. So I can throw out something else in defense as well if I want to.
Yeah. So, but if you throw out that Sentinel, you'll stop the whole thing.
Well, for giggles, I'm going to throw out this crappy robot.
Okay.
Oh, that's 8,000. I'm on 28.
And I'm on 20. What did we say? 21.
And you're on 21. So you need to get 8,000 or more from the 2 checks, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting the combat now. All right, I got it.
Okay, so I did.
Boo.
Oh, and I got a heal. Right. So heal is I get to remove a card from here.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to get rid of that one. So you always want the face down ones because they're still available to soul charge.
Mhm.
And I'm going to give 10,000 to my Vanguard.
Okay.
So
do you get a second
do
check as
my
well
next-
still, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
So nothing
and
on
that
that one.
is nothing. No. So they're going to come into my hand.
All right. So
then, oh, shoot. Where are they going to go? Okay.
Okay, so you were at 30 to my 28, so I take it damage.
Yeah.
Two damage or 1 damage?
Just 1 damage.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, if the grapple external was still active, if they were like that.
No, sorry. Actually, you could have added that to the guard zone if you wanted. But
because it's got the intercept thing.
Yeah. But it's going to intercept for 5,000. But now here's the thing: I still have 1 left to attack with.
Mm-hmm.
Now
this one just goes discard pile, yeah.
Yeah, and my Vanguard says at the end of the battle, this unit attacked. I can counterblast and choose one of your rear guards. Till the end of the turn, that unit can attack from the back row and gets plus 5,000. If you Persona Road this turn, I didn't. So I'm going to do that because that's cheaper than me soul blasting. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to choose this card. So it's going to get plus 5,000.
So that'll be attacking for 15.
Yeah. And it can attack from the back row and gets plus 5,000. Which doesn't give it the boost. Oh, so that's no good. Actually, that's not what I need. I'm going to do its effect instead, actually, which is counterblast and soul blast, so that I can boost. So that means that last card is gone. So I'm not going to be able to do that effect unless I start getting more cards in here. So I'm going to attack for 6,000 plus 15,000. So it's 21,000.
Okay, I'll throw out that then.
Well, do you have anything cheaper? Because that's like, I can't add anything to it. So,
I mean, I've got that. So
yeah.
15 plus 20, so that's 35.
Yeah, so you've blocked the attack.
Okay, cool. So that goes to there. And that's that.
So essentially, that's how the game plays.
Okay. Can we do another round just to see if I can get my head around it?
Like, you're going to start hammering me now.
No. I'm going to get smacked on my next round, but I might as well give it a shot. All right, so I stand.
Yeah, and let's
just
take
10k goes away, and that 10k goes away. Just going to fling him over here. Get out of here. So we do the stand thing. They got a 2k. They got an extra 5. I draw. Okay.
Sorry, if you don't mind me, I'm technically I couldn't do this in the game, but I'm just going to look at your Vanguard, your grade 3 here.
Yeah, go for it.
So,
because I mean, I'm gonna play it out anyway. So,
yeah, okay.
Or rather, I'm going to play it from my hand because I.
Is it the same one? Seraph
have
Snow?
One in my hand.
Yeah. Well, so I would maybe put that in. It depends on what you have, because if you put the other Seraph Snow out, it has an ability that triggers from rear guard.
Okay, so I discard a card from hand then, like so. Flip this one to here. And let's have a quick read through. So
I don't know that.
Thanks, Alexa. So during your turn, if one or more of your opponent's cards are imprisoned in your prison, this unit gets plus 10k. So yes. If 3 or more cards are in prison, this unit gets drive +1. So
Yes,
that would be 3 checks instead of 2.
Yes. So
It's
you
got the
want.
twin tray.
So if
I
you
want
look
to
at the
imprison more stuff.
Yeah, so if you look at the act, so once per turn from the vanguard or the rearguard position, that's why I'm saying keep the other one. You can counter last one. You have enough because you've been taking damage. Choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards and imprison them in your prison. So then you're going to be up. You're going to be up to 3.
All right.
Which is going to give you that extra check.
All right, so let's do that then. So I'm going to drop that one there because I can. I'll put the 10k on this unit first, so don't forget it. 3 or more cards are in prison. All right, so act once per turn. So that is a counter blast, and that's taken from
your damage.
My damage.
So you just flip. No, you just flip it.
Oh, flip it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you're not removing it. You're just paying the cost.
Yeah. There we go. So then that lets me
imprison
choose
2
of your opponent ones I don't like. Okay, so I don't like this one.
Okay.
So
that is a nasty deck.
Imprison that.
I mean, that one's probably the weakest.
Which one?
That grade 1. But essentially, you can do it with each one of those. So you could essentially imprison 4 of my cards, which is going to really weaken me.
I can only do that once per turn.
On that card, but the other one has it as well.
Oh, of course.
So, and each one gets imprisoned.
Oh, right, yeah, let's make that happen then. All right, get them all in. They're all going to prison.
Well, you can't get all of them. You can get 4 of them. So you might just...
I'll get rid of... Yeah. No, I'll get rid of your boost boy as well.
Okay.
So
it's just this one here.
So it's just that one there that exists. Okay. All right.
I'm beginning to... Cole and Will were very excited about that deck. I can see why.
All right.
So what do I have to pay?
So I don't have a lot of other things.
Okay.
So I might as well just go straight attacking then.
Let's just check if there's any other like act cards.
Okay, so that one I've done.
That one you've done.
The Vanguard I've done. This one has, as long as I got things in prison, I get the plus 5k, so that's done. And if so this gets plus 2,000 power, plus 5,000 shield. That plus 5,000 shield, that's if I'm playing it from my hand. Yeah. To do a defense thing. Okay. Okay. Well.
What sequence do you want to do it in? Now, this is again one of the things I really find interesting about the game is the sequence in which you perform the attacks, because you're going to do three drive checks. The chances are you're going to get through with that attack, and you might get triggers that are going to augment an already powerful attack. So do you hold them? Do you attack with that one first so that you can then disseminate the boosts to the other units, or do you attack with the others and hope that I'm not going to do it, or have me spend my blocks trying to defend those ones before you come in with the last one? Like, this is what I love. I'm kind of remembering what I love about the game. It's those kind of decisions.
All right. Well, I'm gonna attack with this one first. So that'll be 15.
Sorry, Yas is saying. I'm sorry, Yas. It's kind of hard to see the comments when we're playing.
If I don't see the screen and I hear only some part of the conversation, I think you're playing Prismarine. Prismarine of the TCG.
Well, you know what? That is in my head. I have been thinking about it. I have a core mechanic.
Oh, cool. All right, so I'm attacking for 15 with my grapple external, and I'm going to attack your looting petals Demalia.
So you can only attack the front row. So you got to go after the
Okay, so I
Vanguard.
can't attack. So I have to go for the Vanguard. All right, well, that's not going to do enough damage on its own then, so I can't use that to attack.
10, it's 15.
Yeah, and you've got 23.
Why is that? No, that's a leftover. Sorry.
Is it? Oh, okay. Then
Yeah.
I attack with the thing then.
So you are, what did it say? You're 15 and
I'm at 15 and you are at 13. Yeah. So let me just see if I get this straight in my head. You now decide whether you want to play out shield, and then I get to trigger, and that's the drive check thingy.
No, because the rear guards don't do the drive checks.
Oh, only the Vanguard checks. Okay, yeah. Cool.
So
all right.
the rear guards are like
this is a straight attack.
Yeah, it's a straight comparison.
Yeah, but you have the option to throw out shields if you want to.
Yeah, so the weird thing for me is like, do I take this and hope I get a trigger that's going to, because if I block it, I'm not going to get a trigger. And then I have to throw everything else into the next one. But if I don't, I could be totally screwed at the same time. I'm going to let this one through.
Okay.
I think.
So I hit you. That means you take a single damage.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I'm just realized. Okay.
All right. So now I'm going to hit with my rear guard Seraph Snow.
Okay, so that's 13 against my 13. So I'm going to suggest that one you kind of want to be able to boost it if you can to a fixed. Like do it in whatever sequence.
So when you say boost it, have another card in behind.
No, sorry. Ideally, you want to be able to apply a trigger to that one.
Okay. All right. So really, I want to attack with my Vanguard next then.
Yeah, I think
so. Okay. So we'll tap. So that is 10 plus 13 is 23. Plus another 10 is 33.
Okay. So I don't have enough. So I am going to let that through.
Okay. So I do, because they're in the Vanguard position, they've got the twin drive, I do 2 checks.
Oh, you're doing 3 because it's...
Oh, because it's got the plus...
Because you've imprisoned
more than 3 cards are imprisoned. Yeah. Okay. So check number 1 is nothing.
Phew.
Check number 2 is
nothing. So you're going to be able to persona ride next turn.
Yeah, because those go into my hand, don't they?
Yeah.
Check number 3 is nothing.
Okay.
All right. So
those... I take 1 damage. So you draw them.
Come into my hand. Is there a hand limit, by the way?
No. Did they go into your hand or did they fall?
No, I got them.
Okay. So, I took a damage check, which is going to give plus 10,000, which I'll give to my Vanguard, and I get to draw a card. So now I'm harder to hit.
Okay. So now I just have my Seraph Snow rear guard, who's just sort of standing there.
Yeah, so they can't attack anything now.
They can't attack, so because that's not going to be enough to do so. But I can hold on to them. All right, cool. So that ends my turn.
Yeah. Okay, so then I'll stand and draw.
All right, so the minute it's 4-3. Okay.
And
it's literally first to 6 points of damage, yeah?
Yeah. So, but I need to get. I need to free up some of those ones.
Uh-huh.
But it's going to stop me from using my attack. Like, so what you're making me do is use counterblasts to reduce your attack value, but it's also then means I can't spend it to increase mine.
Uh-huh.
So the first thing I'm going to do is trying to learn from the guys is play this. Right.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so it did it automatically. Nice. So this is called a persona ride.
Okay. So that's putting the same card on top of the previous one. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you persona ride,
it really boosts your attack. Okay.
But I also, when I yeah, it's weird. I need to check because they were saying that when you persona ride, you draw a card and all of your front row gets plus 10,000. Whereas I think the fact that the persona ride is allowing me to boost my 3 cards, I think that's its persona ability. So I'm going to stick with that for now because I think that's pretty strong.
Because I don't actually have any persona ride text on my one, so I think that's in addition. I've got the symbol and everything up in the top left.
Yeah,
but I don't have any extra text. So
okay, well, technically,
you do get the 3.
Yeah. So what they said is each of these positions get 10,000. So it's not.
So even if there's not cards in them.
Yeah. And I draw a card.
And it's only for this turn.
Yeah, I think as long as I'm playing the same card on top.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna push that up there. I don't want to put them in play. I'm going to play that to there. I'm going to play that to there. And I'm going to counterblast. So your prison effect says during the main phase, if I counterblast one, I can choose 2 of my imprisoned cards and call them to rear guard. So do I want him? I'm going to they're all there, aren't they? I'm trying to see what I had actually. So I don't have enough. Let's see, I've got 1 card in there. I could do Soul Blast once.
So you can actually pull 3 back if you had the. You counterblasted from over there using the damage pile.
Yeah.
And you've got Soul.
Yeah, but I'm only going to take 2 back. I'm just trying to figure out which ones I want. I think, did I go back into my hand? Oh no, they get called to rear guard. Okay. So that's I can't get that Sentinel back. And he gets plus 10,000. Maybe I'll take that one. I'll put him there. No, I'm not going to take that one. I'm going to take this one and put it there. That one and put it there. So
okay, so I've still got 3
actually,
in the prison.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to take that one. I'm going to take this one because it has. If you have 4 more rear guards, it's going to get plus 5,000. So. Okay. So I'll just stick all them back up again.
Oh, that 10k goes away. Because it's during your turn. If one or more of your opponent's cards are imprisoned in your prison, it gets +10. And it's not my turn. It's your turn.
So I think. So this would kind of create a fairly relentless attack, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But you have lots of cards there. Okay, I'm going to do this because what's nice is it is not dependent on me actually dealing damage to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to attack for, that's 13, 33.
Hey, Alex. Welcome, by the way. Against my Vanguard?
Yeah.
Okay, so they got 13. I'm gonna do this one.
So Sentinel Guard, okay.
Yeah.
Grand. Okay, so I'm going to drive check for 2. So I get a critical, and I get to add 15,000. So I'm going to add. Where do I want to put it? I think I'm going to put it on this cute little one down here. So 15 on this. And add the critical on that one. Right. Then I'm going to do my second trigger.
So that's another good one for you. Okay, so that's another 10,000 on something, and you get to draw a card.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is, I guess in this case, break up. That was a draw as well, wasn't it? Yeah. And then these go into my hand. So I'm trying to spread the attacks on you, so that you're kind of using up resources to try and block them all. No, that did not work. It's so funny. I'm so used to using Tabletopia.
Tabletopia, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how the hell to get these into my hand. There we go. Okay. Right. So then its effect was at the end of the battle, counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards. It can attack from the back row and gets plus 5,000. If you Persona Road, which I did, choose 3 rear guards instead of 1.
Okay, so they all get an extra 5,000 at the back and can all attack.
Yeah, so that's kind of, so this is kind of like an overwhelming attack. Okay, so let's go. So essentially each one of these is pretty lethal. I know you've probably got some perfect guards in there. Maybe not actually, because you used that one up. So I also got to look. So that can't block. That one could block. And this one, sorry, I had to counterblast. So that's it. I can't boost this one at all.
Oh, sorry. I have to choose a card from my hand and discard it. 1 second. I discard that one. And the thing I've nominated that can't be hit until the end of the battle is my Vanguard.
Yeah, but that battle's over because that was.
Oh,
you're having multiple battles.
Okay, sorry, I didn't realize that each one is a battle. Okay, cool, good to know. So that just goes away then to discard pile?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I may be corrected, but that's always how they worked before. Because it was a battle phase. Okay, so I'm going to attack your Vanguard for 20.
Okay. So that will do a damage on me.
Now you can guard.
I can intercept, can't I?
Yeah. You've got a lot coming in.
Yeah, I know. This game is going to be over in like 8 seconds, but I might as well see how things work. So this would just be literally picking up this guy from here and shifting. Like, that seems like a desperate move.
Well, so what are you on? You're... Oh, no, you're on 23 at the moment, sorry.
Even though this has been tapped?
Yeah. So it says continuous. So during your turn, if one or more, when you're on the Vanguard position, during your turn, if one or more of your opponent's cards are imprisoned. So it's actually on 23. So I actually don't have enough to attack. Okay,
so that boost is permanently on then?
Essentially, as long as there's someone...
You don't have... no, so I don't have to tap them to have the boost work.
Tap boosting is to do with attacking.
Okay.
So you have to tap them to apply the boost. But your Vanguard says during your turn, if your opponent has one or more cards in your prison, you get plus 10,000. So your Vanguard is already getting 10,000 because cards are imprisoned.
Yeah, but it's not my turn. It's your turn.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was misreading that.
Yeah, that's why I took the token away, because I think it's your turn, so that they're very strong during my phases, but they're very weak during your phases.
Yeah. Okay. Phew. Okay, so that's 20 against your 13.
I will take the hit. So that's just a straight damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's me now on 5.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I'll just go straight in, I think.
Okay.
So 8 and 20, that's 28. And the only reason I'm attacking from the back row is because of the effect.
Because you've got the special. Yeah. All right, then I will play that out to defend for 50.
Nice.
Desperate measures.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to come out for my critical check, so I might as well use it for defense. That's my thought behind it.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would need a heal trigger. Because you kind of do the heal before you kind of apply the damage. Okay. Well, then I'll just do this one because it's going to do two damage, which doesn't really matter at this point. But if you have the heal,
I do
so
not.
That's coming in for 20. Yeah, so 23.
Okay. So 13. So that's another damage.
So you're going to take 2 damage. Yeah.
2 damage. I can't take any more damage. It's full, Rory.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So playing out the only way I could have gotten out of that is if I had one of those white cards with the heal trigger icon on it, and I would play that out to defend and get the icon off of it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Congratulations on your victory.
So I'm trying to think. Like, I think with that deck, the strategy is actually to kind of not put a whole load of... Well, it's quite easy for me to free cards, actually. It's almost like by not putting damage on me and just capturing as much as you can from mine.
Definitely, it seems to be grab cards if you can early, put them in the prison, and then use the buffs off of them, and just keep some of your cards stuck in there.
Yeah. I'm going to just switch back then to the main screen so we can kind of save run. So that's the new version of Cardfight Vanguard, and that is the starter decks that we're playing with. So they're actually pretty
chunky. Yeah. I mean, it's the first time I've played it, so obviously there is, as with the vast majority of TCGs, there is a learning curve like that steep. But I think give it a couple of games. I think I'd have the basics relatively down, like after a few plays. If what you say is true, and actually watching the TV show, like watching the anime, teaches you how to play the game, I would probably spend a little bit of time watching a few episodes of it just to try and get the basics down, I guess.
Yeah, and it's funny because,
but it's cool.
I think they were like one of the first. Now I don't know if Bushiroad were doing it, but those episodes were going up on YouTube. Like you could find the full series on YouTube.
Oh wow! Okay.
Because I don't think they had like a US broadcaster, and I think that really contributed to its growth here. Not well, when I say here, when in English-speaking countries.
Yeah. Let's have a quick look. YouTube, Cardfight Vanguard. Right. TV animation, Cardfight Vanguard Overdress.
Yeah.
Catch it every week from April 3rd here on our official YouTube channel. So yeah, they'll be showing the new season on there as well then.
Mm-hmm. So it's
let's subscribe then.
It's really interesting because they totally understand that the anime is the advertising and the marketing for it, and so they just make that available for everyone to have access to, because it's not where the selling of that isn't where the money's coming from.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they'll make it available to companies like Crunchyroll and Funimation, and they'll make a bit of money through there. But I mean, if we have a quick look at the YouTube videos, episode 162 of Cardfight Vanguard Link Joker rerun, 14,000 views. A couple of weeks ago, another one, 19,000. So, it's getting decent viewership, and like it's not like Bushiroad is a poor company. They're throwing out. They own a lot of stuff. They make a lot of trading card games as well as own a lot of different companies. So, yeah, they realize that it's just good advertising, I guess. But I enjoyed it. It'd be really interesting to actually sitting down with the physical cards, doing what I like to do with the starter deck, having them all out in front of me and going, okay, so how does this work?
See, yeah, I never. That's my thing. Is I always end up playing. I did it finally with Scarlet Witch last night. I actually played Scarlet Witch and beat Ultron for the first time.
Oh, nice!
With like just a deck straight out of the box. Now,
I have not even looked at that Scarlet Witch deck apart from putting it into the thing. So that tells me it's got AOE, and I'm happy.
It's got some really. Now, there was one rule I was misplaying, but I think I was also making my life harder in a different way. So she churns through the encounter deck. I know this is a kind of side conversation. She churns through the encounter deck really quickly, and so you get that boost, which I was treating as an extra encounter card, which it isn't. It should be get an extra. The threat goes up faster. So I wasn't increasing the threat faster. I was giving her an extra encounter card every turn. So I kind of feel like that balanced it out.
It's like it's victory, but with an asterisk on it.
Yeah, I kind of have to play it again for it to count. So yeah, I'm kind of curious though. With we're going to be talking to Cole and Will next week about Cardfight Vanguard and Pokemon and TCGs in general. So I'm curious, like, what questions right now have you got coming out of playing Cardfight Vanguard?
I mean, so some of the stuff is pretty obvious to me. The thing, like, hey, what market do you think they're going for? And it's obviously, this is not a kid's game in any way, shape, or form. There's a lot going on in there. But because it's got the anime very much attached to it, it seems that it's outside of Japan, it would be seen as very much a thing for a younger audience. But I don't get that as a younger audience game at all.
So yeah, I think this is again, like some of the issues that we have, with art stuff, the presentation of the art versus the game style. Because when I was teaching, introducing Cardfight Vanguard, it was, I would say, largely at the time, a lot of 8-year-olds were really excited about playing Cardfight Vanguard.
Okay.
They were looking at the artwork going, "Oh, robots, dinosaurs!"
Yeah, I mean that's fantastic. You can make up these incredible groups, and like if what you said is how they're taking it, like rather than it being like 21 separate factions, they're now bundled into 5 larger groups. That means that you'll be able to mix and match and make as many, weird and wonderful mix-ups as you want. But then you look at the cards, and some of them have got like encyclopedias worth of text, which it's the Bushy Road thing. It's what they do.
I have to ask, Michael,
strange.
Are you shuffling cards?
No.
There's something you're doing there that's been picked up by the mic.
I had my
That's
paintbrush.
what it is.
Sorry.
It could come across as quite strange. So yeah, I think that's the game was simpler when it started. Roll Paladin was like, play this card, and when you attack with your Vanguard, give 5,000. It was one of those things where the massive power creep, not necessarily power creep, but ability creep.
Okay.
So like, that deck I was playing with, which was like, play a card, reveal a card, call it to your rear guard. Then if you play I actually had cards in my rear guard where I could have done that effect again to reveal something and pull it out. And I think that can get a little bit crazy where you're like, there was a period where I was playing Vanguard and I was just like, take your turn, let me know when you're done. Because they're doing, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to call this and then I'm going to ruffle through and find this and then I'm going to put that into play. And Neo Nectar was really guilty of that.
Michael is not doing a Rubik's Cube, yes, although I do have one handy.
And it's one of those things that's really fun when you're the player, but not so much when you're on the other end.
Yeah, I think that is a problem in a lot of TCGs, like with the whole dissociation almost from it, because a reboot to me says we want to bring a brand new audience into this, whatever it is, whether it's a game, a movie series, a comic book, whatever. And this as a new upcoming reboot coming out in May or whatever, like who's the audience? That's my big question, I think. Who's the audience for this? Because you and I love our complex little combo pulling games, and that's fantastic. But this doesn't feel like it is a game that is aimed at us. It feels like a game that's aimed at a younger audience because of everything that surrounds it.
So I think it's going to be really interesting to talk to Will and Cole about that. I think that's the audience for TCGs. I think that would be a really interesting conversation to have, because part of my brain goes into this kind of like stereotype of who I think, and yet I kind of hang around on the periphery of TCGs, and Will, I think, is older than me, and so it's quite a broad audience for it, and he loves Pokemon and he loves Cardfight Vanguard and Magic. He probably has more disposable income, but that's kind of interesting to talk about the audience for these games, because for me, I'd love to see it. I don't know if it's possible, like a TCG that works for a younger audience, that wasn't built around the hyper collectability, and Pokemon really struggles with that, insofar as it sells a ton of it, but the people who are buying it aren't playing it.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting bit to talk about as well. The difference between the collector players and the kids on the playground who are just grabbing cards because they like the look of it. And I think it'd be also interesting to talk to them about some of the other games that would probably fit into this space that have maybe fallen by the wayside as well. So, we could talk a little bit about Light Seekers, I think would be very interesting to talk about because, you were pretty high on it. I enjoyed playing it as a game, but then even the company making it went, it's probably better as a digital only and pulled back.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it'd be cool to talk about that.
Buddy Fight would be an interesting one.
Which is a simpler version, I take it, or?
It was kind of meant to be a simpler version of Card Fight, but I don't think it had enough different in it. Okay. It was like simpler, but not better.
Oh dear, horrible.
Well, there was nothing like if I had to choose between the two, I'd go Card Fight.
Yeah,
Vanguard. And yeah, a lot of stuff kind of felt a bit generic in it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it next week. It's going to be cool. I mean, it's always nice hanging out with Will and Cole anyway, but it'll be really cool talking to them about their chosen specialist subjects.
Yeah, sarcasm is going to be at a super high level.
Yeah, prepare yourself.
Should be a sarcasm alert.
I'll rig up a little button device on the side so it's just like goes off every time it gets too high. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Real good. All right, so let's wrap it up there, man, because I need to get out of this chair.
Yeah, it's late.
It's late. But we'll be back on Friday for some more good stuff. Are we doing more Prism Arena? We can do some Combo Clash or...
I was actually going to reach out to Yoss and see if he would like to join us.
Hey, sweet. Yeah,
man. Just so if we can try a 3-player or 4-player. So I just want to round up 2 more people, if possible.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, we shall see everybody then, and it will be good times. That'll be Friday at 2:00 UK time, which just for this week is 10:00 Eastern Standard Time if you're in the States. So there you go. Cracking. All right, Rory, thank you very much for the teach, man. I appreciate it very much so.
No problem.
I will be grabbing those decks, I think, just to properly play them.
I'm kind of excited for that. If they are at the price they say they are, it would be crazy.
That would be very good. Definitely. All right. Thanks for watching all. We'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.